Hey everybody. I just wanted to check in real quick about the readings for the week. So, the one that I really wanted to address, and it's kind of the outlier, I admit it, is the fairy tale. Angela Carter is, or was properly, a great reteller of fairy tales, but she went a little dark with them, went a little off the beaten path. I really love her stuff. I get that it probably seems a little weird insofar as fitting into the rest of the material, but trust me, motherhood is important. As you probably figured out by now, because hopefully you've all read it by now, it's a Bluebeard retelling, and the person retelling it is the latest wife of Bluebeard's. But the role that the mother plays is something that I think is just really cool. And it never really happens in fairy tales because usually, frankly, the mother's dead. Disney got that case of dead mom syndrome from somewhere. So that's something that I really enjoy in this one. Most of the poems, fairly self explanatory, fairly straightforward. I do think Language of the Brag is probably the trickiest, but I also think it's the best, or at least the one I like the most. When I decided that I was going to do this section on motherhood, because of all the moms in class, that was the immediate reaction. I have to do Language of the Brag. So keep in mind when you're reading this that she is comparing herself to some of the men in other kind of American epics when she's talking about Whitman, when she's talking about Ginsberg. These are very famous male authors who are seen as just archetypally American. And she's talking about these great American feats and these great American feats of physical excellence. And she's putting childbirth up there with it. And I think that's kind of amazing to look at in perspective. I mean, certainly it's a physical feat that would terrify me. And, it's part of the reason I don't have kids, because, yay. Um, and it's not something that winds up being bragged about all that often. And it should be. I do think that a lot of the rest of the old poems, pretty straightforward. Um, she covers a lot of the different sides of motherhood. And it's not something, again, that I've experienced, but a lot of it rings true to the mothers I know and things that they've said about experiences in different ways. I'll really be interested to hear what you guys have to say. When it comes to Plath, a lot of Plath is very dark. These poems, less so. One of them even gets kind of playful, which is a surprise, which is not something we see coming from Sylvia Plath. But there's some powerful thoughts on motherhood, particularly in the other poem, Morning Song. I'm very, very fond of these. The other one, Republic of Motherhood. This is by a newer poet. It appeared relatively recently in a poetry journal. And I thought it provided an interesting contemporary counterpoint to these. So I'll be interested again to hear what you think moving forward. Anyway, we do have the Friday night chat, so hopefully I'll see some of you there at 6. And as always, please let me know if you have any questions, anything isn't making sense. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.